Alright, here is a shot of the side of the stage, that little space in between the bathroom and the stage, and I gotta build some stairs for that. If you saw an intro to this video, that means I took a little extra time and actually recorded one, but as of right now, I'm just gonna do this voiceover and walk through a couple of the processes that I went through to make those stairs. It's a very steep, very narrow space, so I can't do the traditional runners and just cut out the right angles from them. The angle is just non-traditional. So that's the angle I came up with. I don't remember what it was, but this is kind of just set on the floor and posted up on the wall there. And if you notice, they don't go all the way to the ceiling because I didn't think that through. And here I am now, after building the first couple of steps there, figuring out that, oh, it needs to be higher. So I took my motorcycle jack there, lifted it up, put some extra supports under there, take it back down, rest on the supports, and somehow by myself managed to like maneuver this back into position, get it vertical again, braced up the rest of it there, and now got that extra about 2 feet that I needed. And you can see on the bottom there's some old steps that were just temporary for the old stage, but they allowed me to just have access up top there while I put in all those steps. I just used like a 2x4 little spacer to get them all even, and then put some horizontal ones to rest the steps on. It's sturdy enough, it does what it needs to do. It supports me. So there's from the top to the bottom there. And there's the dirty warehouse. Still in early construction phase of all this renovation projects that I've been doing. And there eventually does get a rail put on that stairway since it is very steep. But now what I've got to do is get rid of those temporary stairs, build the first 2 steps again down there, and also join them in 2 steps onto the stage. But you can see there, walking up on top of the bathroom and looking down at the messy warehouse. It gets better, I promise. This was honestly about 2-ish years ago of this footage. So everything's been done for a while now on the stage part, but this process here was difficult. I was using all scrap wood. And there's the old stairs that used to go up on top of the office. I wanted to free up that wall because it was just taking up a whole bunch of space. Storage under there was very awkward. It just wasn't what I needed really. So the idea was I can use more of that storage up on top of the bathroom as my like everyday-ish access, and some long-term storage be more on top of the office. But if you check out my first video on the shop tour, you can see that I have a solution for getting up there. But for about 2 years, yeah, I was just using a ladder to get up onto the office for storage. Luckily, didn't need anything too much in there, but eventually it did get to the point where I needed that extra space, and I came up with a new solution for that. But also these big runners here, is that what they're called? I don't know. Those, I ended up ripping them down the table saw and just getting really long 2x4s out of them, basically. Okay, so here we are back at the stage, cutting up what is basically like a figure it out as I go frame out of these steps. There wasn't much of a plan. I just kind of had to measure each little space. The angles in here were kind of like a design thing that I wanted to do in the beginning. I thought was a good idea, and it turned out okay in the end, but it was really difficult to figure out all the angles and make all the cuts. There was a lot of guesswork involved. There was a lot of math that sometimes worked out, and there was a lot of just making some stuff fit without measuring, to just kind of accommodate strange angles, and also using scrap wood. So like I couldn't a lot of times have the pieces that I wanted, so I just have to, make something or temporarily do something that will work while I brace it up with something else. And it was quite a task, but in the end, like, it gets covered up and you don't see the messiness underneath. It is sturdy, it does work, and I am ultimately happy with the way it came out. But yeah, that's not a, like, any builder that looks at this is gonna laugh. Um, but it's okay. And there's my first glimpse at kind of like a free wall space there. And here I'm just cutting up some old pieces of the old stage to, I think this is where I'm covering up the front of those just to clean it up a little bit. And again, like, piece by piece, some of them fit, some of them don't. I gotta add, there was like a little 4-inch piece I had to add there just because I didn't have the right length. But working with what I got, and like I said, in the end, it did work out. I'm happy with the result. It was just an arduous process to get these in there. So a lot of times, yeah, if I could find a right angle like that, I just crawl underneath, mark a line, and cut the angle so I wouldn't have to measure anything, which was the easiest way. But it only happened a couple times that I could do that. There wasn't much right angles in this thing. So yeah, and if you see there, I pulled it out a little bit. That whole section can actually slide out, so I can roll stuff and have access under the stage behind those stairs. That was one design thing that I did keep in mind. I still wanted to have access to the storage. So there's the final shot there, and got stairs up to the bathroom, stairs onto the stage. Pretty happy with how it came out. Ultimately, it's not pretty underneath, but it works, and now I got some good stairs on the stage.